Welcome back to the Blitz and Glitz.
We've been a little slow with getting our videos out. I had an accident this past Sunday where I was sitting on my couch relaxing and the ceiling fan fell out of the ceiling and onto my head. So
Ouch.
I have never really thought about the dangers of a falling ceiling fan until this happened. And I was just talking with Sonia that the ceiling fan has been installed for over 12 years without really any problems. It's always kind of wobbled a little bit when you turned it on, but we never turned it on. It wasn't on the day that this happened, and for whatever reason, it just decided to
collapse
onto me. But just be careful. If you have a ceiling fan, do an examination on it. Make sure everything is in its proper place. And you just never know when things like this can happen. So, just a little PSA.
As we all know, down in Jacksonville, there was a convention of Madden 19. There was an incident down there that we've all hear about. And first of all, we want to send our condolences to the 3 people shot and the 7 people wounded. And the guy who did the shooting he killed himself afterwards. I have a gamer myself. One of my kids is a huge into gaming. He actually even went over to California last summer, or this past summer, to the gaming convention of the next year's games that come out. They get to play them. He got to play them and interact with the people who came up with the game themselves. So I have a huge gamer myself, but my concern has always been, especially with boys. I have 3 boys. My concern with them playing the video games is the danger of them getting too involved and how much they play them to get in depth to the point of does it really psychologically empower their brain to the point of they cannot focus on anything else. Like the guy down in Jacksonville, he was a gamer, big time gamer. His parents were getting a divorce. They were very well off. His dad was a engineer, and his mom worked for worked for something in the government, I think. Don't quote me on that one. But they were getting a divorce, and he was down actually in Madden 18 playing the video game in this convention, and he won the whole game.
Wow.
So when he lost this game this time, he couldn't function, and he pulled out his gun that he bought in Maryland, which Maryland has from what I just read, Maryland has one of the toughest gun laws there is.
How old is this?
He was
this person?
24, I believe.
Wow.
So, the whole entire time my kids have grown up, I'm really concerned with how in depth and what kind of impact gaming can have on ones. I mean, you're talking any kind of games, Grand Theft Auto, and those are actually games that are on CDs, not even the games that are online. So that you don't have to play video, have a CD for, that you just download on your computer and play with people across the United States and the world. So both kind of games are, to me, are when you get that involved in shooting, and I mean, what do you think? How do you feel about all the violence is what I'm trying to say, is the violence on these games and how they affect children. I mean, this kid was only 24.
I think my experience with gaming is very minimal, but I have babysat for kids who have been involved in gaming, but their parents pretty much monitored everything that happened because they did play the ones where they could connect with other people, and they were connecting really just with their friends, but I could see how other people could invite them to play or whatever. And I always worried about predators because I heard horror stories about it. But as far as gaming itself, I think that when you have impressionable young kids whose brains haven't completely formed and they are able to have this realistic shooting capabilities, like Halo is one that I know is very popular. I think it can cause sensitizing. Okay. I think I'm trying to make up a word that doesn't exist, so we'll go with desensitizing.
What does it mean, Amy?
But it does kind of just make it where, I can go and play a video game and shoot somebody, and then when you actually do shoot somebody, you lose that feeling of, I'm not in the game, this is real life. So it just kind of crosses into the same feeling.
Exactly. And what do you mean? In the games, we don't have consequences of these actions.
Yeah.
Do they really understand the consequence between gaming and real life?
Yeah, like just because you shoot someone in a game and then, oops, you have 5 more lives and that guy's going to be there around the corner again, and then you go and you really shoot someone and that person doesn't get up. I mean, I don't know. It's a really
it's a huge
subject.
And it's a huge industry.
Yeah.
Very huge. I mean, I was shocked when my son came back from California at the gaming convention and told me how many people were actually there. And I saw the pictures. I'm like, wow. Just wow. I mean, I can play Pac-Man. I mean, that's about it.
I'm a bingo player.
Oh.
Not even, well, I do play it on my computer, which is awesome, but that's the extent of my gaming.
I can play Pac-Man and, DiMaggio or whatever that little man's calling it.
Mario?
I like Mario too. But,
King Kong?
That's
Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong.
And Frogger. I can do Frogger. And the Wii. But those games, you're actually getting exercise. You're using your brain because you're problem solving.
Well, I don't know if Pac-Man you can really consider that.
Well, Pac-Man's problem solving because you're trying to get away from the ghost. You're trying to get as many points. You're trying to clear
and you're not
the board.
shooting anyone.
Right. So games went from being fun, entertaining, problem solving, thought provoking into just
a whole new level of craziness from a mom's point of view that doesn't play.
Well, and a non-mom's point of view too, but I don't know. I just feel like, me personally, since we've had a lot of school shootings, there's just the correlation because a lot of these shooters were avid video game players of the games that we're talking about, being able to shoot. And it's not everybody that games.
Right.
It's people who already have maybe mental issues, and this can be a way for them to release rage or, being bullied at school, and they go and take it out through the video game, but then at some point it clicks in their mind to bring the video game to life, and it's not good for anybody. Even the shooter. I mean, his family
Right.
As all the ones before him, their families suffered too.
When I was reading the article about the kid that shot him, did the shooting, halfway down the article it said that he played the video games so much that he wouldn't take a shower for days.
Wow.
And then he was really mean to his mom and violent towards her. And so
he had an addiction.
Yes.
To the gaming.
It is so sad. So sad when you have addiction like that can change your life in a heartbeat because you just can't make that right decision.
Yeah.
So.
And that leads to a lot of other questions. You know, could he have possibly been autistic? You know, and parents try to,
right,
you know, do what they think is best for their child,
right, and
then it just turns out like this.
Well, he was taking something for bipolar. So,
and you know, when you're using prescribed medications, and then you've got other issues going on, it can be a deadly combo.
Right. Next.
On a lighter note. If anybody has ever been to Myrtle Beach,
I love this story.
This is a very popular place for a lot of people. I know that was the first time I ever went to Myrtle Beach was for Senior Beach Week when I graduated from high school.
We won't say what year.
Yeah. It was definitely an interesting, eye-opening life experience.
You know, and that was a fun time.
Yes.
Because we got to cruise on Myrtle Beach and, you know, we got to go up and down the boardwalk in our cars and with our windows down, hanging out and just having a good time. Well, I guess that's not the case now.
Well, a lot of changes have happened over the years, and they're trying to make it a
Society
more
has changed.
family fun destination. A lot of people are now retiring there because they want to stay in the upper part of the state. Everybody always knows Hilton Head around here is, you know, the retiree place to be, or Charleston. So Myrtle Beach is trying to follow suit. So they got rid of the pavilion. They got rid of all the cruising. So
they got rid of all the rides that you can look over top of the ocean.
So they're just left with the fancy boardwalk that they've built, and there's one Ferris wheel, I think, and maybe
on South Side
something else. But it's just slowly transitioning into a retirement community. And now, I just read an article that they implemented this last year, that you can be cited by the police with a fine of $500 and time in jail of up to 30 days for using profanity.
For what?
So, if you go back to the
I wouldn't have a hard time with that.
I might.
Dang it.
But they're basically saying that any words that can be used to incite people to anger, to fight, just to get riled up, which, I mean, that's what the beach is about, especially if you go down during bike week. Everybody's riled up.
Either bike week.
Which might explain.
I think one is crazier than the others, but I'm not sure which way it is.
I think they've started to kind of mix.
And they just go twice.
Yeah, they just all stay down there for 2 weeks.
Right.
But last year they said that they had over 300 tickets at an average of $77 a piece. So,
are you kidding me?
That's a nice little chunk of change for Myrtle Beach.
The city of.
And I'll put the article down below, so if you want to go and see the words that they're actually looking out for, or listening out for.
So there's actually a list of words that
there is. I'm not going to repeat them on here for the sake of everyone's ears.
Right.
But if you played the game when you were little of guess all the bad words, you can, I'm sure, guess all the bad words. So Not that
Oh,
I would
wow.
ever say anything like
No,
that to
no.
anybody, but you know, some people get excited and just are having fun and have to just let one go.
That one rip.
But just be careful if you're in Dirty Myrtle.
Oh, Dirty Myrtle.
That's what its name has always been. Going to Dirty Myrtle. But they're trying to clean it up.
I think there's more dirtier beaches than Myrtle Beach.
Well, it's not dirty for its actual
Oh, the
cleanliness.
cleanliness. It's not the cleanliness that we're talking about. Okay.
But it is really still a fun place.
It
to
is.
go.
It is.
going
I enjoy it when I get there. I haven't been there in a few years, but
Well, I went down last year when the eclipse happened.
oh, that's right.
Yeah, my mom and my sister and I went. We stayed in Myrtle and we drove to Charleston because that was in the path of the
The
full
actual eclipse.
which was actually really fun. And there were lots of expletives happening as I remember. We were in front of a little bourbon shop. I don't know how we got there, but
A bourbon
We were
shop?
in front of a bourbon shop. Yeah.
Like the alcohol drink.
Yes.
Okay.
Various bourbons. It was on King Street, which is the main street through Charleston.
I was
and
at
it
the Myrtle Beach.
It was like a really big street party. So, luckily, Charleston doesn't have the profanity citations.
Could you imagine?
But it was that was a fun trip. So yes, just be careful if anyone's going down to Myrtle Beach and
And
you
be
get a little
aware,
excited.
because if you don't know, you're not aware.
Yeah, because some people think that cursing is just like everyday talk,
Yes.
and that is
I have-
nothing for them.
And
So,
I have a Steelers page on Facebook that I run, sort of, and those words are just an everyday effect of people. I'm going, I don't understand it.
some people are just brought up that way that they're just words and there's really no
Right,
meaning
and that's where we
behind
are
it.
in society too. It's just that way.
I grew up in a very strict religious household, so dang and darn were
Bad words. I guess that's why we're friends, because we were.
Yeah, I never said but
Oh yeah,
until
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
probably 25 years old.
Because it was behind.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say but you had to say
Yeah.
behind.
Oh,
Yes.
the one time I said it, I regretted it.
We got that belt.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic.
For a whole nother
So-
day.
But yeah,
Alright.
just watch your mouth when you go to Myrtle Beach.
Last but not least, as we all know, we're going to a somber, is that a word? Somber, more topic. As we all know, Senator McCain died this week of brain cancer. That was a very sad moment in our history. So condolences again for the McCain family and America, basically, because he was a war hero as
Yeah.
well. Setting that all aside, and what happened this week because of his death is a huge discussion across America. Our president, President Trump, has decided at the beginning, we don't know if, of course, we don't know what happens behind closed doors. So America, we have to take that in consideration, because we just don't know. We're only allowed to know what we're told. So with that being said, the flag is supposed to be flown at half-staff immediately after the death of a senator or a member of Congress. But it was not done immediately like it was supposed to. We don't know if he wasn't told.
Because being the president, yes, he should be aware of what is protocol. But there also is an advisor or two.
That's the word I
or
was
three
looking for.
That should let him know, hey, this is what we're supposed to be doing let's get on it. And
Right.
maybe that's what happened, and it just took longer than what it should have.
Because again, President Trump is not a politician. He is Trump.
He's a businessman.
He's a
first and
businessman,
foremost.
so it takes an advisor.
Yeah. And
to
not
say
making
that.
excuses for him.
Not at all.
But, you know, in anything, if you're a business owner, you have a lot of things going on.
Right.
You have people who are there to make you aware of things that you may overlook. Same with the president. There are a lot of things that is on the
Right.
plate for that person, and that's what the advisors are for, to let him know
Right.
what needs to be done and then get it done. And of course, because of the situation between McCain and Trump before his death, it's all are becoming a he didn't do it because he didn't like him and whatever.
Exactly.
I hope that it's not something like that.
Yeah, and we do know that Senator McCain has asked Trump and Palin not to come to his funeral. So was that an oversight on his part also because of that? As America, we don't know.
Yeah. And if he made those wishes on his deathbed or prior to knowing that he was going to die, then personally speaking, that's his right to make those decisions of not to have certain people there, because when he dies, that yes, he was a big part of everyone's life with decision making for our country, but at that moment it's about him and his family having their last moments with him.
Right.
So he wants a service of people who actually want to be there to honor him.
But on that end also, Senator McCain did die of brain cancer.
Cancer. There's that word again.
And cancer is such a huge ordeal in the United States, especially.
Aretha Franklin.
Exactly.
The Queen of Soul, pancreatic cancer.
Oh, is that what she passed away from? Because that's what my grandmother passed away from a few years ago.
Yeah.
Cancer has affected all of our lives in one way or the other, whether it's a celebrity that we have grown to know and love throughout the years, like Aretha, our senators, or anything like that. But our personal life, we have our, cancer has affected us all by one way. Grandmas, grandpas, cousins, aunts, uncle, friends. The list can go on and on. So throughout the programs and stuff, or the channels here, I have said that I have been involved with a cancer benefit that raises money every year for cancer research. It's called Rock Out to Knock Out Cancer, and it was just held in Pittsburgh, PA. And we hold this event every year, and we will be bringing you more news as we plan the next event next year to raise more money for cancer. So we have a show that we're going to do, a wrap-up show soon with the event coordinators, and bring you all that information very soon. So I look forward to that one. But cancer is such a big deal.
Yeah, it affects everybody.
At
some point in life, you see babies that are born
kids
have cancer, and all the little children that are at St. Jude's that are suffering daily, and teenagers that get it for no reason, and on up every decade of age, you get somebody that's affected by this terrible disease.
Yeah.
So hopefully a cure will be found at some point in my lifetime, I hope.
Right.
So that people can have more time with their loved ones and not have to see them in chemo and in the hospital, and
which is
just
rough.
Really not,
it's a rough time.
Yeah. And strides have been made.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even my dad passed away 10 years ago from lung cancer, and there are people now who are living and surviving from lung cancer because of
advances that they have made
things
in
that
research.
have been medicines and trials and all of that. But the fact is, it still exists, and people are still being diagnosed at an alarming rate.
Right.
So it's good to have organizations out there that are doing things like the Rock Out to raise money for research, and we can all do our part to help out with that, either by attending these benefits, giving a financial contribution to them,
Right.
saying a prayer. You know, anybody can do that, and just be have the people that suffer from this in your hearts.
Yeah. Well, I think that's our show for this time.
Yep, don't forget to subscribe, ring the bell. Give us
Yes,
a thumbs
ring
up.
the bell.
Yay,
Ring the
she's
bell.
on board.
There is a reason we have to ring the bell.
Yes. Ringing the bell, for those of you who may not know, will alert you to when our videos go up, so you'll never miss a video. You can subscribe, of course, but that doesn't give you instant notification that we're here.
Right.
So subscribe, ring the bell, and like, and you'll always have access to us.
And maybe number 26 will show up eventually.
How many more days does he have?
Well, he has said that he is going to show up Labor Day, but then he
Right.
tweeted out, well, somebody said he was going to show up Labor Day, but then he tweeted out, I have not told anybody when I'm showing up, so our Steeler fans will wait.
We don't have that kind of drama down here in Panther country. We just have drama with our owner, but he's gone. We've got a new one. It's going to be a
Life
great
is good
season. Yes.
as a Panther fan.
Yes. All right, well, take care, and we will see you guys again at the end of the week.
Bye.
Bye.